First, a little bit of history. We talked about this a few weeks ago, but there is a thing called the Cambridge Platform, which was a gathering of believers in Massachusetts back in 1648. The Cambridge Platform actually forms the foundation of our congregational polity. And back then, the groups decided that congregations are those people who come together in covenant. And each congregation has its own ability to elect its own officers. It's a distinct, independent entity. Now, although congregations or churches are distinct and equal, they ought to preserve church communication with one another by mutual care, consultation, admonition, and participation. In other words, no congregation is an island. Fast forward to the UUA. You may hear that term a lot. The Unitarian Universalist Association is a voluntary association of autonomous, self-governing member congregations which have freely chosen to pursue their common goals together. The fact that there is a UUA does not supersede congregational polity. Congregations apply to be members of the UUA, and they can withdraw at any time. Why would they want to be members of the UUA? It gives us an opportunity to amplify our values by speaking together with the 1,000 other congregations across the country and the world. It gives us a chance to pool our resources for things like benefits for staff, religious education, ministerial credentialing. The search process is run by the UUA. Our hymnals are published by the UUA. Those are the kinds of things that it does for one another. In addition, we have disaster relief funds and welcoming congregations programs, green sanctuary programs, and right now you may be hearing a lot from Side with Love, our social justice program. So then what is General Assembly? GA, as we call it, is the annual meeting of the UUA. So all the participants come together to worship, to connect, to make policy decisions through the democratic process. Anybody can attend General Assembly. You do not have to be a member of a congregation. You don't have to be a delegate. Anyone can attend. However, congregations must certify annually in order to send voting delegates. And we'll talk a little bit more about delegates later. The other thing about General Assembly, I mentioned worship. So there's also, there are services every day. There's the Service of the Living Tradition, which is a service that honors brand new ministers, retiring ministers, religious educators, musicians. It honors those who have, those religious professionals who've passed away during the year, and is an opportunity to raise funds to support those in need. There's a bridging and synergy service where the youth are honored across the country. It's amazing to see so many youth come together in one place. There is raucous and exciting and fun-filled welcoming celebrations with lots of singing and the annual banner parade. Every congregation shows its banner and marches proudly through the arena, although now it's virtual, but still, you get the gist. And then closing worship on Sunday is live streamed. It's available to be live streamed to congregations anywhere. This year, I hope you'll really pay close attention to it because I'm going to be in it. When does this happen? Our 64th UUA General Assembly will be multi-platform. The in-person portion will be hosted at the Baltimore Convention Center, and there will be hundreds more joining online through the Whova app. Who runs this UUA? I hear lots of comments about the UUA is telling us what to do and the UUA is top down. We are the UUA. There are officers who are elected. There is a president, and right now that is the Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. We have a moderator, and the moderator is essentially the person who runs General Assembly. And we have a financial advisor. So you may be aware that there is a common endowment fund for the UUA, which manages investments of not only the UUA itself, but endowments for many congregations across the country, including River Road. There are appointed officers at the UUA. There is a treasurer, a secretary, and a recording secretary. Of course, there is a board of trustees, and that board of trustees carries out policies and directives, approves new congregations and communities, defines the rules for association membership, is responsible for ministerial and religious educator credentialing, appoints the committees, amends the bylaws of the UUA, works on its budget, appoints those positions that are appointed, and drafts policies. The members of the UUA Board of Trustees are elected by the member congregations. Anyone can put their name in the hat to be a UUA trustee. So who's on this Board of Trustees? Well, the moderator, the person who runs General Assembly, is also the chair of the board. The financial advisor is part of the board. There are 10 trustees at large and 2 youth trustees. And of course, the president of the association, who is an ex officio member of the Board of Trustees, kind of like I am an ex officio member of the River Road Board. What business issues will be decided at General Assembly in 2025? Well, we have some voting to do. There will be several elections happening this year. For the Board of Trustees, there are 4 positions available or opening up. Each of these are for 3-year terms that will begin this year and end at GA 2028. The nominating committee will be up for election. 3 positions, all of which end at GA 2028. The Commission on Appraisal will have 4 seats available, beginning this year and ending at GA 2031. They serve 6-year terms. And it's time to elect new moderators. The job of moderator is a big one, and it has been divided or held as co-moderator teams a couple of times in our history. So this year, for the term 2025 to 2031, we have a co-moderator candidate team, and then we have an individual who's also running. So that election will happen this year. How many votes does River Road get? Or does any congregation get? So how many delegates a congregation receives is determined by how many members it says it has as of the time it does its annual congregation inventory. That happens in January, February of every year. It's usually due the first working day in February. At the time River Road turned in its certification, we had 518 certified members, meaning we are entitled to 11 delegates. In addition, congregations can have minister and religious educator delegates. This year, I will be your ministerial delegate, and both Beth and Laura will be serving as religious educator delegates. Delegates, except for the minister and the RE delegates, are appointed by the board. They must be members in good standing. able to attend the general sessions, either in person or virtually, and willing to represent the members and best interests of the River Road Unitarian Universalist congregation. You don't have to register for the following events. Anybody can watch online live, or if you're in the arena, you can just come in and listen. So the general sessions, the candidate forums and information sessions, the Sunday morning worship, the service of the living tradition, and the synergy bridging worship, which is the youth service that I mentioned. There are several other events that happen at GA which are not available to the public. So there are dozens and dozens of workshops on everything from membership to stewardship to facilities to social justice to meditation to you name it, they're happening. There is a choir at GA. You can be a member of the choir, but you do have to sign up for that ahead of time. There's also a large exhibit hall that has art vendors and social justice organizations and seminaries and other types of UU adjacent organizations, and then several of the UUA offices available as well, so that you can just buy stuff. You can learn things. There's a lot going on at GA. The best part of it, in my opinion, is just getting to see folks from across the country, connecting with other UUs and finding out what it's like outside the walls of your own congregation, making friends, exchanging ideas, and just being together. Now I'll get into some details and show you what the individual business agenda looks like right now. I'm not going to read all this stuff to you. You can pause the video and look in detail if you want to see each thing. Opening session is on June 18th. June 19th, General Session 2. June 20th, General Session 3. June 21st, General Session 4. General Session 5 happens on Sunday, along with the closing, where the newly elected officers and leaders and moderators are installed in their new offices, and there is an invitation to General Assembly 2026. There will be some important issues voted on this year. In June of 2022, a business resolution was adopted by the General Assembly, and remember, that's all the delegates of all the congregations, that we need to renew our UUA bylaws for theologically grounded and mission-focused governance. You can read this little text, this excerpt from the resolution, and I have the citation there if you'd like to go look for it on the UUA website. The bylaws renewal team will be presenting a report this year and announcing the structure by which this review will continue over the next 5 years. Also on the agenda this year and every year are social justice statements. And I'm going to give you a little overview of just how our statements work, and then again, go to the website or check out the links that are at the bottom of the screen to get more info. So we make two different kinds of social witness statements as UUs. We have statements of conscience and actions of immediate witness. These come also from congregational study action issues. You'll hear people talking about CSAIs. So these are issues that member congregations think the whole UUA should study, reflect, and act upon. So for example, River Road might say, we should study a particular issue. We should study, I don't know, art in sanctuaries. And they can bring this to General Assembly, and all the delegates might say, hey, River Road, that's an excellent idea. Why don't we all study that together for a few years? And at the end of that time, we can issue a statement of conscience, or maybe we might even say that, oh, this deserves something more. Let's do more with this issue. Actions of immediate witness express our conscience and carry the authority of the delegates at the General Assembly where it's passed. So these are very, very timely, and they are in response to where we are right now. So you will probably see actions of immediate witness around the current political situation and the national threats to democracy. They are initiated by individual delegates. So if you're a delegate, you can propose one, and they are adopted and moved through discussion all at the same GA. Here's a little more about action of immediate witness. Congregational study action issues. There are 3 proposed CSAIs for 2025. The first, abolition is faith formation. 2, fat liberation, building justice and inclusion for larger bodies. 3, housing, diversity, equity, and inclusion. There are going to be discussion forums for each one of these CSAI proposals. The dates in parentheses are the dates when those will be happening. You can participate in these, but you have to register beforehand. The website at the bottom is where you go to register. Let's talk about the Commission on Appraisal. So the Commission of Appraisal is 9 people, and basically their function is to review any activity of the association which in its judgment will benefit from an independent review, and then report back to the General Assembly. So they spend several years studying something in depth. And I'll give you some examples of recent reports. In 2021, they issued Unlocking the Power of Covenant. 2017 was Class in Unitarian Universalism. 2013, they looked at Ministry and Authority. 2005, Theological Diversity. 2011 was Membership, and 1997 was Renewing Congregational Polity. Each of these reports is published as a book. I have all of these available if you are interested in seeing them, or you can also check them out on the UUA website. So what do you think? Does GA sound interesting? I'm looking forward to it. If you have any questions at all about GA, what happens there, the things that are listed in this video, questions about agenda items, check out the website or send me an email. My email address is csimon@rruuc.org. Think you want to be a delegate? Click the link in the e-weekly to express interest. Financial support is available to help you attend online. If you are interested in going in person, housing, it may be an issue. So I will let you know that there are often housing sharing programs available, roommate situations, ride share. Since it's so close in Baltimore this year, there should be plenty of options available. Again, if you have any questions at all, send me an email. Thanks. Bye.